Minnesota about to burn after mob of Somali Muslims take over neighborhood and force hell on women. America is still in shock over the murder of Minneapolis resident Justine Damond, who called police after witnessing an assault in her neighborhood. Minutes after her 911 call was placed, Damond would be dead, after a Somali Muslim police officer turned off his body cam and shot her in cold blood through his police car window. As the liberal media works overtime to bury the story since it puts leftists' precious Muslim refugees in a negative light, now a sickening story is surfacing about a disturbing incident that happened in Minneapolis several months ago, that was completely ignored by the mainstream media. Minneapolis is rapidly becoming a Sharia swamp thanks to the liberal politicians who keep allowing Somali Muslims to invade the city at an alarming rate. Muslim migrants in the city have attempted to set up Sharia zones in the past, and once thriving American neighborhoods have now been completely transformed into cesspools of crime, as these migrants have completely taken over large sections of the community. Now Minneapolis residents in one of the only remaining white neighborhoods are being victimized and threatened with death, after the sickening thing that a mob of 30 Somali Muslims did during their Sharia patrol. Local reports reveal that white woman was just minding her own business outside of her home when a mob of migrant males approached her and began screaming disparaging comments at her, threatening to rape and kill her. KSTP-TV interviewed the victim, where she relayed her horror about the incident that transpired in her neighborhood. "They were screaming at the house that they were going to kidnap me and they were going to rape me," one Minneapolis resident told KSTP-TV. "It was a very traumatizing experience." The unnamed woman wasn't the only one targeted with the barrage of terroristic threats, as the mob made their way around the upscale neighborhood yelling comments at numerous homeowners, while driving their vehicles onto the sidewalks and lawns while shooting off bottle rockets and screaming. KSTP-TV reported. A mob of up to 30 young Somali men paraded through one of Minneapolis' more upscale neighborhoods last week, yelling disparaging comments and threats against homeowners. Somalis living in Minneapolis are almost all Sunni Muslims, and residents of the Lake Calhoun area say this isn't the first time a group of Somali men has made an intimidating march through their neighborhood, which is filled with million-dollar homes. Police were called to the scene on June 28 about 9:30 a.m. and are investigating the incident as a potential case of terroristic threats. No arrests have been made, and the Minneapolis media appear to be largely uninterested in reporting on the mob threats. As the mainstream media works overtime to bury both this incident and the murder of Justine Damond, Somali refugees continue to arrive to the city at an alarming rate, with an average of 7,000 Somali Muslims migrating to United States annually, with the majority of them being dropped off in Minneapolis. The most shocking part of it all is the Minneapolis media's complete blackout of the incident, which should come as no surprise considering who the mayor of the city is. Mayor Betsy Hodges has been instrumental in the Muslim takeover of her city, recently establishing an anti-blasphemy hotline so Muslim migrants could call and report on anyone who harassed them or spoke negatively about Islam. In a recent interview, she was completely unapologetic in her admission that her Nazi-like hotline was specifically established to target President Trump and his supporters. "I will not compromise the public safety of the people of Minneapolis to satisfy Trump's desire to put politics before public safety," she stated. "Minneapolis is being built and strengthened by people from all over the world and I am grateful for their commitment to our city. I stand with them today and will continue to take that stand as the president-elect prepares to take office." Following the brutal murder of local woman Justine Damond at the hands of a Somali Muslim cop, that disturbing ties that Hodges had to the killer came out, as this liberal mayor was instrumental in getting him a position at the police department, gushing all over social media about how Officer Mohammed Nur was such an upstanding citizen, and a bright and shining example for Muslim migration and assimilation into the city of Minneapolis. "I want to take a moment to recognize Officer Mohammed Nur, the newest Somali officer in the Minneapolis Police Department," she said on Facebook. Officer Nur has been assigned to the 5th Precinct, where his arrival has been highly celebrated, particularly by the Somali community in and around Carmel Mall. How many more innocent people have to die before the love affair between Muslims and liberals stop? Muslim migrants continue to prove to us that they have no intentions of assimilating into Western society, and with these anti-American morons flooding cities at an unprecedented rate while getting positions within the police department, white women being viciously targeted for rape and murder will just sadly become the new normal. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe Breaking News 365 channel. Goodbye and see you again.